My name is Linda Yoneshige, and I'm a supervisory procurement analyst. I work for DLA Troop Support Pacific. When I was 22, my daughter Heather was born with a rare and unusual heart defect. When she was a day old, she had to have surgery to temporarily correct that defect. For 5 months, she was living really precariously, at the point of almost dying, And so at 6 months old, she had open heart surgery. And then at 7 months old, she had another surgery. By that time, her father and I were divorced, but she was off the medication. She was happy, healthy, all the way until she was 12 years old. And then at 12 years old, she started getting an irregular heartbeat. And then when she was 14 years old, her heart stopped and she died at school. Our world just went upside down. We were totally devastated. We didn't know what to do. So my family and I, we went through a lot of grief, a lot of anger and resentment. 3 years later, my husband and I, by that time I was remarried, we had our son, Kyle, and he was happy, he was rascally. So my son one day came home from school and I was giving him a snack or something, and he said, "Mom, this is the second time this happened to me." And I said, "Well," I asked him, "what happened?" And he said, "I was sitting there at lunch and my heart started racing. I wasn't doing anything and it started racing. And right then my world just stopped." I rushed him to emergency, and sure enough, his heart was beating super, super fast. And so that started just a round of tests after tests about us rushing to emergency, because sometimes his heart rate would go up to over 200 beats per minute. I didn't know what to do again, right? So I didn't even know how to pray, truthfully. So I went to my friends and I said, "Help me, please." And they sent me all these scripture Bible verses, right? And I put them into a little book. And every time that I was fearful, every time I had doubts, every time I felt like, why is this happening, questioning, I would open that little book and I would read scripture after scripture. He will never leave me or forsake me. He loves me with an overwhelming love. He has a plan for Kyle, a plan to prosper him, a plan to give him hope in a future. And I was just at peace. So when he went for the surgery 6 months later, I already knew it was going to turn out okay, and it turned out okay. So now he's a rising senior at college, and he's going to be graduating in May, civil engineering. For me, it was about making choices. It was about overcoming fear with faith. It was about reaching out to others when I needed to, and it was about making choices to surround myself with positive instead of negative, And that's my story.